if I'm a part of the corporate team or in the corporate office with Dodge and Mopar, Stellantis, and all that type of stuff, and I'm looking like at my numbers and looking at where we stand coming up to the end of the year and comparing it to my competition, I would honestly be 100% scared. I would be extremely nervous going into 2024. We talked about on this channel before about the high inventory and things like that, how Dodge cannot move units. Well, the numbers look worse than I thought. Some recent things have came out and it is looking really ugly, worse than I thought before. But let's go ahead. Let's drop the intro to the video. Let's talk about it. YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in on this particular video. If you're new here, we do a lot of car related things and you like cars in the right place for all that, so make sure you're locking in and subscribe to the channel. If you've already done that, I want to appreciate you for supporting me on this YouTube thing, but we will not hold you too long. Let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail. So I did a video maybe a few weeks ago and I was talking about how Dodge's inventory is overflowing left and right. A lot of people are talking about this as well. They're going to the local dealerships, walk around the car lots, and as you walk around the car lots, you can see that these dealerships are overflowing with inventory. We're pretty much these cars are done for. It's literally the end of 2023 as we're speaking. We're a few weeks away. This is supposed to be the time where finding any sort of V8 Mopar should have been the hardest thing to do ever. You should not be able to find these things on the lot at all, period. You can go to any dealership pretty much, as long as they have a, pretty good inventory, you can find what you're looking for. Scat packs are out there galore. RTs are out there galore. Hellcats are out there galore. But they're not moving. They're not selling at a time when these cars are going away for good. At least that's what they tell us. So what is going on here? So I know it's one thing to talk about and say what we're seeing at these dealerships where the inventory is just straight overflowing. But when you look at some of the numbers behind what is going on with these dealerships, you can put stuff in perspective and kind of find out like, yo, Dodge is in trouble. Mopar as a whole is in trouble, and they're down bad right now. So let's kind of break down these numbers here. So some new data came out not too long ago from this site called caredge.com. And this data measures kind of the new cars with the highest and lowest inventory for 2023. Now, this article was published back at the beginning of December. So this is relatively recent information that we have here. So what they did was they took a look at some of the cars with the highest inventory. Well, a lot of cars that's on the market right now. Looked at the new car inventory, only new cars, not used cars, anything like that, and kind of used that data of how many cars are for sale and compared it to how many cars have been sold within the last 45 days or a month and a half, you want to go that way, to see how long it would take for this entire inventory of cars to be completely gone. So if they sold all these cars at a steady amount, how long would it take for all these cars to be gone? And when I show you this list, you're going to understand why, if you are working in the front office of Stellantis, Mopar, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, all of that, Ram, all of that, you would be kind of concerned at what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to put the chart right over here so you can see what I mean with these numbers. So this list is a top 10 list of cars with high inventory and units to sell and how long, how many cars they sold in the last 45 days. So there are 10 different manufacturers or 10 different cars on this list, and you're going to see why the concern should be here. Starting from the top, you can see there Ram 2500, Mopar, Dodge Hornet, surprise, surprise, that's on this list, another Mopar, Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger, Mopar, top 4, all Mopar, Ford Mach-E Mustang, okay, Ford got one on here, Jaguar Type F, Chrysler, another Mopar, Mercedes-Benz SL, Jeep Cherokee, another Mopar, Maserati Levante. I hope I'm saying it right. But out of the 10 cars on this list, 6 of these cars are Mopar. So pretty much what we're seeing here is that there's a huge supply of Mopars out there. When any kind of Mopar dealership you go to, Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, any of those dealerships, they have the highest inventory out of everyone. But the thing that is killing them is how many they sold in the last 45 days. So high inventory, low sales. So they got a lot of stuff just sitting around. As we've seen in the many videos out there, inventory's not moving. Various reasons why, we get to that later. But you can kind of see the dilemma that Mopar as a whole is in. Not just the Charger and Challenger, which we care about the most, but the other brands as well. Dodge, I said Dodge. We already said Dodge. Ram, Jeep, and Chrysler in the same boat. Now, on this, you can also see on this list, it gives you the average selling price. So this goes from the base model V6s on up to the top dog, depending on kind of car you're looking at. But I mean, we're going to focus mainly on the Mopar stuff here. So you can see on here, as far as the price is concerned, with the average selling price, Mopar has a wide range of prices here, all the way down to the Cherokee, which is the cheapest one that's going to be on this list at $36,600. Most expensive is going to be, of course, your luxury brands, your Maseratis, Mercedes, stuff of that nature. And, yep, Jaguar. All that stuff is going to be kind of on the higher end because it is a luxury brand. You can look at the numbers for sale here. Total units that are currently available as of this particular article coming out. The highest, by far, Charger and Challenger, 33,000 units, 25,000 units. Ford Mustang Mach-E is right up there as well. They have about 25,000 units as well for sale. And no other really brand has as many. Another high one, the Hornet. So they have a lot of cars that they manufacture to sell. They have them all up there. The lowest is going to be, what is that, the Jaguar F-Type. I mean, luxury car. It kind of makes sense. They don't really make a lot of those, but that's kind of one of the lowest there. So you can see a lot of cars manufactured expecting these cars to move, especially the Charger and Challenger. Last year for these cars, we need these cars to move. Now, here's how they get the figure as to how long it would take for these cars to be gone. You can see the market day supply right there. So this is listed from highest to lowest here. And you see the top 4 cars, market day supply, 784 for the Ram 2500, 517 for the Hornet, 424 for the Charger, 362 for the Challenger. So to put this in perspective, if Dodge were to sell these cars at the rate they're going now, it would take them 362 days to sell every Challenger, 424 days to sell every single Charger, 517 days to sell every Hornet, and 784 days to sell every Ram 2500. So as we look at the total sold in the last 45 days, the Ram, only 92 of those sold in the last month and a half. That's not good. Then again, it is kind of one of the most expensive cars on here with an average selling price of nearly $70,000. So that maybe makes sense a little bit. Now, here's the shocker. Dodge's most affordable car in their lineup right now, the Hornet, is their cheapest car that you can buy. And they are struggling to sell this car. And the numbers show it. In the last 45 days, they only sold 939 units. To put that in perspective, I'm pretty sure Dodge has sold more of their most expensive Dodge Challenger. You know, the Demon 170, you heard about that one, right? I'm pretty sure Dodge has sold more of those cars than Hornets. You should be pretty concerned when your most expensive car outsells your cheapest car. In no way should that happen at all. That's why if you look at like the Challengers, Chargers, all that type of stuff, you see most of your V6 models out there. The V6 ones are the most affordable. More people gravitate to those cars and buy those cars versus the higher trim. You will see more XXTs, more GTs on the road than you will see Scat Packs and Hellcats and all that type of stuff. That doesn't make sense that your cheapest car can't outsell your most expensive car. Now, while the numbers for the Charger and Challenger look really high, with 3,500 and 3,200 of those cars being sold in the last 45 days, you got to also remember they have the highest inventory of those cars out there. So even with the high inventory and the number of sales, it will still take nearly a full year plus to get rid of all of those cars at the rate they're going now. To put that even further into perspective, we can see the comments from a lot of people, and a lot of people do not like EVs. They hate electric vehicles. They don't like them at all. When Ford dropped their Ford Mustang Mach-E, I knew everybody was groaning that they gave the Mustang iconic name to this crossover SUV that's electric. People hated it. But if you look at the numbers, it sells just as much as the Charger and Challenger for a car that people don't like. Now, granted, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see the Mustang the Mustang Mach-E that often on the road, but the numbers here show it does sell just as much as the Charger and Challenger does. 3,200 units in the last 45 days. They have about the same number for sale as like the Challenger does. Granted, it will take about a year for all those cars to sell based on the current rate. Of course, it's still on this list because it's bad. So that is the entire list there. So these cars are not moving. And I know a lot of people say, well, interest rates are bad. Okay, let's say the interest rates are bad. The interest rates impact every car manufacturer out there, right? Certain manufacturers do not have a car on this list at all. Maybe they're managing their inventory better. Maybe they're not pumping out all these cars to be in a point where they can't move them all at all. Maybe they didn't overestimate the hype they thought can build behind these cars. There's not one GM vehicle on here. Looks like they managed the inventory well, not overproduced anything. Ford only has one car on this list, just the Mach-E. Everything else is just fine. But like I said, interest rates impact every car manufacturer. Doesn't matter which one you're buying. So does that play a factor in it? To a certain extent, yes. Another thing, looks like if you just look at the numbers, Dodge overestimated the number of cars they're going to sell across the board for everything. They felt that they were going to move these units with ease because of the fact this is the last call last year. People are going to be flooding the dealerships to come buy these cars, and that's not the case. Yes, interest rates, I'm going to say it again, it plays a factor, but I mean, we're going back to thefts. I know I say that all the time. They really didn't address it completely. I mean, there could have been some software updates, more software updates that could have helped this out. But why waste those resources on a car that you're getting rid of? I get it. I understand. After they sell you the car, they're done with it. They don't really care about it at all after that point. If it gets stolen, when you get your insurance check, come buy another one. Kind of what they think about from that standpoint. But you can see that it's not just the Dodge side of things that is having trouble moving these cars. Ram, Chrysler, and Jeep is also having the same thing. But the difference between Dodge and everybody else is only one Ram car there's only one Ram vehicle that's not selling. It's only one Chrysler that's not selling. Granted, they don't have that many Chryslers to begin with. It's only one, right? Jeep Cherokee, it's only one Jeep that's not selling. Everything else is fine. The only brand that's really on here multiple times by itself is Dodge. And it so happens to be every single Dodge vehicle that they own except for the Durango. The Durango is the only one that I own here, right? Dodge is in the top 4. So pretty much 3/4 of the cars that Dodge sales right now that on their website are in the top 4 for worst selling cars at the moment. So now if you're Dodge, you're looking at your sales numbers, you're looking at all this inventory, you should be sweating bullets at this point. You have all this inventory that you thought was going to move. It's not moving. We're coming to the end of the year. Apparently 2024s are coming out whenever they decide to come out. But your most popular cars, most of your lineup isn't selling. Like if you have something that people want to buy and you're trying to stay afloat as a business and most of it is not selling, that's a problem. Like that's like if you're selling donuts and you offer 4 flavors of donuts and people don't buy 3 out of your 4 flavors, you'll be worried. If you sell chicken wings and you come in 4 different flavors of chicken wings and people don't buy most of them, you will be worried. That's pretty much what's going on here at this point. It could be because they do have the most inventory out there to sell and they overproduce for what's going on. Maybe because of the strikes, they were worried about that. They want to get the cars out there. No other manufacturer did, and no other manufacturer decided to overproduce like they did. And it shows right here that they're going to be sitting on a lot of inventory for the foreseeable future. Now, does that mean it will slash prices? Who knows? They could still be greedy. We know how the dealerships are moving right now. They have a lot of markups built into their cars. I talked about in previous videos how expensive these cars have gotten over the last few years, and you're not getting a lot of updates. So a lot of this stuff is kind of playing against Dodge right now. So that is going to wrap up today's video, man. I know we're talking about Dodge is doomed, Dodge is at the end of the line, but we've seen how the dealerships look right now, and now we see the numbers behind it. It doesn't look well at all. Maybe they would start slashing prices on these cars to move some of this inventory. They could get desperate to do that, but they have shown to be pretty greedy here in the last on the last year here. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'd rather sit on these extremely high cars and make people buy them somehow. I don't know who, but that may be their plan. But let me know your thoughts right now on how Dodge is performing. You see all the numbers there, and I mean, like I said, it doesn't look good from my standpoint, but let me know your thoughts here. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We would definitely appreciate it if you would do that, if you haven't already. But we will catch you on the next video. We are out. Cut it.